Hi, babe.
Hi, babe.
How you doing?
Good.
I found some mother of pearl. It's pretty cool. You see it?
Yep. Very pretty.
I found a nice. It's like
No, you did.
I did. Look at this piece right here. Isn't that pretty?
Yep.
Another piece of the cowrie that broke off. You can see the teeth. But more interesting is what I found. It's 2 rockets. You think they're gonna stop? You think they're gonna learn? 2 more today, huh? Are we positioned good here, Tink? Or do
No,
you
we
think
need
that
the
we should move?
microphone.
We need the microphone.
Yes,
Okay, let's get the microphone. In the meantime, greetings, family. Welcome to another one of your Frank 26 UB2Bs. It's good to be with you. All you Hawaiians seem to get a kick out of trying to figure out where I'm at. Where am I at? Where am I at? We in Eba, B. Anybody that goes into Eba never comes out, right? There's just not enough roads. There's only one road. Be with you. Welcome to another year of Frank 26 UB2Bs. Today is the 8th of January 2020. And I welcome you to our study of the Iraqi dinar, but it's awfully important that we set the parameters right at the very beginning, correct? Yeah. And what those parameters are is we don't give you a date. We don't offer you a rate. And we're not here to encourage you to go out there and foolishly buy the Iraqi dinar. Study it, understand it, and then make a decision. And I'm here to help you by helping you understand the events. Not only what the government of Iraq is doing and saying, right now the caretaker government, but more importantly what the CBI is doing and saying. And speaking of doing and saying, I believe that it's a lot more important to pay attention to the things that are done than the things that are threatened. Anyways, let's talk. And what time is it?
Do you want to move because you're totally dark here?
Am I totally dark? It's my suntan.
No, it's not.
It's my suntan.
You hold
All
it.
right. Okay, I'll hold it. The thing is that yesterday when we were together, to criticize the media, it is what it is. Everybody knows what they do. Everybody knows that they lie and they exaggerate. It's called propaganda. Now, I expect that from Iran because that's exactly what Iran is doing right now. Propaganda. I would think that you might, well, what do you think?
Yeah, you got the tree, you got the
No, honey,
ocean.
you have this over here. I'm not going to be able to stand over there. You understand?
It's still dark.
It's still dark. It don't matter what I look like. That's all of Waikiki, and there's Diamond Head way out there. I'll be darned. There's a hotel that we stay at, babe. Yeah, I believe that the media. Are you going to hold it like that, babe?
I guess because it's too close the other way.
Sorry. I'm here to tell you that, in my opinion, the media is just exaggerating. That's what they do, and they do it to sell newspapers. And we went over that, didn't we? Now let's talk about maybe. Let me see. It's 10 after 8 o'clock in the East Coast. It's 10 after 3 o'clock here in Hawaii. And what we're going to do is talk until 8:30, because at that time Will come in, and he's going to take about 20 minutes to talk about the product that we represent. That's a commercial. And then when we're done with that, we're really going to attack our team's notes, our Fireflies, is in the sense of what's going on directly inside of Iraq right now. minus the propaganda, the garbage, the nonsense. Well, when we started with you yesterday, we told you that the media seems to, for some reason, want to exaggerate the truth, and I said it's because that's how they sell newspapers. That's how they sell advertising space. Let's start out with something that happened this morning. Good morning, Iran. How are you? We're fine. How are the earthquakes doing? Why do you ask? Oh, I don't know. I just thought I would ask Harp. Tell me, Harp, how are the earthquakes in Iran doing? Well, there were two more this morning. One was, I think, at a 4.9 on the Richter scale. Another one was a 5.1. Yeah, still deep down in the grounds of Iran, right? Yeah. Earthquakes, right? Yeah. How many does that make so far? 5 of them. There's that 5 again. Are we done with them? No. Fascinating. So, I bring that up to you, family, 5 days ago. Not on purpose, but with a purpose. Maybe you understand now. These earthquakes are not an accident. And I'm not here to give you military logistics. You do not get the same scale, 5.0, 5.1 Richter scale, day after day after day, when we all know very well where Iran buries its nuclear proliferation. And that's why I told you about the bombs that we have. They were made by Boeing for caves in Afghanistan, but now for deeper situations. Anyways, that's the first thing that I'd like to bring up to you, I suppose. Iran came out and said that the United States of America is now retreating. They are now backing away. They are now chickening out. Why? Oh, because we hit them with a couple of dozen missiles yesterday. Did you? Yes, we did. No. And once again, we bring in the media. Because you see, how dare the media come out to us American citizens in the morning and tell us that, oh my goodness, it's a disaster. It's a war. What? It's horrible. America's being kicked out of Iraq. What? Yeah, and on top of that, we are really pulling out because of the missile attacks. You know what's sad about it is that this is our own media in the United States of America that's lying to us. Yeah, it's called fake news. To sell airtime, to sell advertisements, to sell you. You're stupid enough to believe it, right? You're not wise enough to go out there and gather more information in order to make a proper decision, right? Iran, you have to stay small, just like I told you. You cannot grow into something big. And that's all there is to it. Okay, we're having problems, and I'm trying to... What's going on?
Trying to get your face lit.
Oh, I thought you were doing all of this because you open the sky thing, you turn on the lights. Is it because it's dark?
Yes.
How dark am I? Can y'all see me? My wife is concerned that the image is too dark. Can you post and tell her if you think it is too dark? If it is, I'll spray white paint on me, or maybe some fluorescent paint. Iran, you have to stay small. You're too trivial. You're not important enough to go to war against. And our president made it very clear. No, we don't want to do that. Iran had to do propaganda, and that's what this is. I started with yesterday by telling you, look, for those of you that are exaggerating this, shame on you. For those of you that are believing the news, CNN, Fox, NBC, CBS, ABC, you know very well what they do. Are you that gullible? No, Iran had to come out and do some fake news, some propaganda. And they started out by saying, we're going to attack and get revenge because you killed our leader, Soleimani. Whatever. And, well, the next thing you know is that we're going to retaliate. And they shot 12 missiles into Iraq. But you all know very well that those missiles, hang in there with me, family. There's a lot to tell you tonight, and it's all here, but I got to find it all. Those missiles were fired into a base, an American base, and I'm trying my best to get you the name of that base. Lordy, lordy, there's just too much in my notes. Maybe what I'll do is when I'm all done, I'll go back and look at all my notes and just cover any of the loose ends. But they shot their missiles into this base. And what's interesting is that the day before they did this, what's today? Wednesday, so that means on Monday, they actually called the Iraqi military leaders. And in that war room were also American leaders, American generals. And what happened was that the phone calls come in, ring-a-ding-ding, ring it. You gonna get that? No, it's from Iran. Ring-a-ding-ding, ring-a-ding-ding, ring-a-ding-ding. Somebody get that, please. All right. Hello? Hello? This is the Supreme Iran calling to warn you, Iraq, that we are about to launch missiles into your vicinity. Well, we want you to know that we recommend that all Iraqis not be present within 1,000 meters of this area. Okay? You got the message? Who's this again? What do you mean who's this again? This is the Supreme Leader Iran calling you to tell you that we are about to hit you for revenge of our killing Soleimani. And who do you want me to deliver this to? To the USA. I thought you were calling us to tell us to well, you too. USA, I don't care. Somebody, please listen to me. And they hang up. And that's the attitude. Because they're a bunch of children. Like I told you yesterday. They're like the little children that say, I got to go pee. Well, you're going to hold it. I got to go pee. Hold it. I got to go pee. My God, you're a pain. All right, I'm going to take and go pee. So, you let them make that phone call and you listen to them and you say, okay, whatever. You see, family, stop and think about this because you haven't, and you too, media. Come here. These knuckleheads, Iranians, are the little spoiled children that have been trying to get the attention of the United States of America because Donald Trump, everybody's with the United States. Hey, can we play? No, you're sanctioned. But okay, well, you're infidels. No, and you wonder, and you want to play with us? You want to be a part? No, forget it. Sanctioned. Well, we're going to fire something. We're going to fire rockets at you, ladies and gentlemen, and media. That's why I tell you, give me 24 hours. Let me take one of you over there to Iraq. Let me take one of you to Basra. Let me take one of you to Baghdad. Let me take one of you, just one of you out there for 24 hours. You'll change your tune. Don't you know that Iran has been sending missiles to the green zone almost all of last year? Did the media care to tell you about it? No. Why did they care to tell you about this one? Because it was more than one or two? And because Iran works with the fake and false media. Hey, we're going to hit Iraq. We just thought we'd let you know, media. Oh, so out there, take pictures. This is going to be big. So they fire them, right? Okay, which button do we push? I don't know. Push a button. We'll shoot. Push another one. Oh, there you go. The stupidity is that they don't, and then the media comes out, oh, these are high weapons with great accuracy. Shut up. If you don't know what you're talking about, shut up. These are stupid missiles. They fire them and they don't even know where they're going. Yeah, one guy says on the television, well, Donald Trump should be so grateful. Yeah, thank goodness, Oh, shoot. Iran is being so nice. Oh, aren't they special? Let's blow them a kiss. Thank you. You guys didn't hurt anybody, did you? Whew, thank you. You guys have calculated exactly where to land those things, right? Huh? Whew, thank you. Bolshevik. Yeah, that's it. Bolshevik. Are you kidding me? And in the media, the propaganda that comes out, you're helping these stupid Iranian military leaders that nobody wants. You're allowing them to spew out. And what else did they say? Oh my God, hundreds of Americans are dead. What? Where? They're dead from laughing. What? Nobody has died. You liars, and then you media, you continue to propagate this? Oh yeah, the Americans retreated and pulled out of Iraq because we bombed the daylights out of them. No. And that really bothers me. Bothers me tremendously. Why don't you talk about the earthquakes? Stupid media. It just bothers me because the truth is there, and they know it's there, but they don't want to talk about it unless it's going to really get you excited and tune into their channels so that you can buy the deodorant that they're advertising. Idiots. The media says that Iran shot rockets far away from any of the military bases, outlets, or the barracks, and we are so precise, and we didn't hurt anybody. No, he just fired off rockets, and you got. In fact, one of them shows where one of the barracks where the soldiers stayed. Was hit and destroyed. Oh yeah, but the media doesn't say anything about that, right? You hypocrites. They were trying to knock our heads off. They were trying to kill as many as possible. And because they didn't, they lied about it. You know why? Because their freaking internet is down. They lied to their people. And they lied to the rest of the world. And I'm going to tell you something. What you did, Iraq or Iran, those are international. You could have hit international targets. You lucky you missed us. Donald Trump would have not appreciated that. And what did Donald Trump do instead? He says, look, they're children. Everything's okay. We cleaned up the mess. I told them to go to the rooms and shut up. I told them to come and talk to us at the table. Let's talk about this. But no. And then they come out with the propaganda and they say that the killing of Soleimani has united Iran and it gives the United States a slap in the face. You delusional bozo. And that's what they wanted. All these proxies that are, what I say yesterday, when the missiles went off, I said that the Iranian, government, they said, who pushed that button? Well, I don't know. Did you push the button? Ali, Aaron Abif, did you push it? Nobody. None of us pushed it, USA. It must have been the proxies, those bad guys, the ones that we don't want in our country. So right away, they disclaimed these idiots. Iran is a ridiculous, a desperate little child that knows what we, the United States of America, can inflict on them within seconds. And of course they're talking the way they're talking because they are just, they're diabolical. They're a bunch of deceivers. But it's not the Iranian citizens. It's not the Iranian government per se. It is the Iranian influence that is there taking over not only Iran, but Iraq and everywhere else that they can promote their wickedness. Their money that they stole from Iraq was only used to propagate and to promote and to support terrorism around the world with every nasty individual group you can come up with. So, what should we do, President Trump? Should we blow the crap out of these guys? No, not really, because I don't want to go to war. I know you don't, Mr. President, but the world is looking at you for leadership, and let them look at me at leadership and show them that I was patient. That is a good quality, Mr. President. Don't you think, though, that we should hit them with a few rockets? No, not right now. Not right now. If they hurt any Americans, that's a different story. Then what are you going to do, sir? Well, Frank, don't you think that bullets? Don't you think that? I'm sorry. Don't you think that? Oh, don't you think, Frank, that this is more powerful than the sword that you have in your hands that you wanna swing all over the place at Iran? Well, I suppose I could do damage with this, sir. Yeah, I know how to defend myself very properly. What are you talking about? Frank, in this case, the pin is mightier than the sword. If you say so. No, I do, because here's what we're going to do. We're just going to lay more sanctions on them. You are? More sanctions? Yeah. Yeah, where's my phone? Because you know it's going to ring in just a second with, what's his name? Okay, we better turn this down. You know what? That phone is going to ring in a minute. Yeah, Frank. I think that the pin is mightier than... They didn't do any damage. They're just a bunch of children, and they're looking for attention. And I'm not going to give it to them by giving them war. If we gave them war, can you imagine, Frank? What, all of last year in the summertime, they really got a little heavier. Now they're doing it again. That's it. They got nothing else. Frank, look. These bottle cap rockets are probably more impressive than what they've got. They don't even know how to fire them. They don't know the trajectory. They say that they can hit America. They can hit other countries. Good God, Frank. Frank, did you get to see the missiles on television? Yes, Mr. Trump, I did. Why? Did you see them flying across the sky? Oh, yeah, those are impressive. Look at that in a dark sky. Well, how many did you count, Frank? Well, in this one video, sir, they showed 3. We have another video where we could see 5 of them at once. They're all coming across. Did you see them go across the sky, the night sky? Yeah. How long did it take? That's a good question. I think it's about a 20-minute, maybe even a 30-minute flight from Iran over to the targets that they were designating. Frank, do you know how quickly we can take those out of the air before they even strike anything? Frank, you watched them? Did you enjoy them? Yeah. Do you know that every other international country that is aiming their weapons at Iran, we're also watching? We're also watching. Well, we weren't. Hold on a second, Will. Okay. Hold on a second, Will. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Do you get my point, family? I've got a lot to tell you. I have walking sticks report to give you also. Right now, we're going to let our friend Will talk to you about this product, and then as soon as he's done, we've got a lot to talk about. Will, the floor is yours.
I want to tell everybody this evening, stay with us. Don't go anywhere. This is important. We've got 2 wonderful testimonials for you this evening. I think y'all are going to be very, very entertained. We get on here every single week, and we're talking about these wonderful products that Frank and I discovered about a year ago. And we're looking forward to changing a lot of your lives. And we wanted to give you an idea of how some of the families' lives have been changed by these products. Let me turn this dang YouTube off. I got both of these things going at the same time. Anyway, without too much ado, I don't want to keep you because everything's very exciting right now with Frank, and I want to keep that going. But here we go. Get your pen and a piece of paper out because I'm going to give away some free product on this call this evening. And I also want you to be able to take down some information. If you want more information, I'm going to give you my phone number and my email address so you can get more information if you care to, okay? And without any further ado, I'm going to bring on Carol Williams this evening. Carol, are you with me, darling?
I'm right here.
All right. Well, listen, let me mute this thing real quick. Mute off, mute on. Yeah, lecture. Here we go.
All participants are muted.
All right. Now, Carol, you're still with me. But listen, what were you doing? How was your situation as far as your health was concerned before you found this group of products that Frank and I have been talking about for over a year? And where do you find yourself these days? Just go into that for a little bit. I'm going to go mute while you're talking, okay?
Okay, cool. Yep. Muted. Heard about this product. I had had some health issues, and I was 71 years old at the time. I had started having some arthritis issues that had me very concerned because I live alone, and I was to the point where I could not open a jar. My thumbs were very, very painful, and I would not be able to even push myself up off the floor, or if I was in a bathtub, I was getting very, very concerned because I thought, how am I going to be able to manage if I can't do simple things like that if I'm living alone? That had me very concerned. Then I was having some real severe pain in my knees to the point where I just knew I was going to have surgery at the very least and knee replacement at the worst. But the pain with my knees was very bad in that I couldn't go up and down stairs without a lot of pain. I would have to literally hold onto the rail and take one step at a time. That had me extremely frustrated as well. Also had a history of migraine headache. And once I started using these products, I think about 3 weeks after I started using them, I think I must have been going through a detox. I don't know. I had a really bad migraine headache. And it'll be 2 years in May since I started these products, and I have not had another migraine. About 4 weeks into it, I noticed that I could go up and down stairs with very little to no pain. And I would take the steps one at a time, like one foot on the step and then the other foot on the step, and not having to go to one step with both feet as I had been having to do prior to that. So I got really excited about that. My thumbs had stopped hurting. I could open jars again. And I just started seeing so much difference. But the main thing that has been my biggest joy with these products is I don't feel old anymore. I can keep up with my grandkids. I can hop up and down off the floor playing with them. And life has just gotten very joyful again. So I really, really owe a lot to these products and to Frank and Will, because one of my friends was listening to them a couple of years ago when I started using these products, and that's how I got on them to begin with. So I'm very, very grateful. Unmuted. Just want to say thanks again, Will.
Oh, wow. I'll tell you what, quality of life makes a big difference. And listen, guys, for all you family members that are listening, we can't claim that these products cure, treat, or mitigate disease or diagnose disease. However, these are just their own, these people's own individual results as they see it. But quality of life means a lot, doesn't it, Carol?
It certainly does. It certainly does. I just don't feel old anymore, and people tell me I don't look old anymore, so that's pretty exciting as well.
Yeah, and listen, one of the things that we can claim, even but anyway, one thing that we can claim is that this product will extend life, and the reason that we can claim that is because the federal government did a clinical study of their own over the last 10 years, and they actually proved and reported that this product will extend life. So hey, if you want to live longer with a good quality of life, take the products. That's pretty cool.
There you go.
Thank you, Carol. God appreciate you sharing with us.
Thank you so much, Will.
Bye-bye. All right, guys, here's a power hitter for you tonight. I've got Mr. Blowers on the phone, and he is he's had some really life-changing events happen for him, and I want him to share with you this evening. And Dick, are you with me?
I'm here.
All right,
Can
Dick,
you hear me?
tell us where you were before you found this product and where you find yourself these days. Just take about 5 minutes and go over it. It's very powerful, folks. So hang in there. And remember, we're going to give away some free product just after Mr. Blower's finished, so Frank can get on with what he's doing. It looks like he's on an important phone call. He might be getting some new information. All right, Mr. Blowers, go right ahead, sir.
Okay. I've been 38 years ago. I started coming down sick, and I didn't know what the heck was wrong with me. I was falling down a lot. I had to lay down every afternoon.
Muted.
I'm walking over there. I'm 3 years old now. This was July 19th, 2018, when my home health aide had been after me for a month to watch one of William's programs, and I finally agreed to watch it, and I said, okay, I'll watch it. I was not looking for nothing, because over the years we've spent thousands and thousands of dollars. We've done everything from fly out to California to a healing crusade,
Unmuted.
buying everything I could possibly try.
What were you diagnosed with? You said you were sick. What was your issue?
Multiple sclerosis.
Muted.
I went to 8 different doctors and chiropractors, and the final doctor I went to was a multiple sclerosis specialist, and he said, you've got MS, or probably got, because there was no diagnosis then that actually pinpointed. He said, the cause is unknown, the cure is none. Go home and tough it out. And I asked him to give me something because I felt so terrible. He said, no, I can't really give you anything because the side effects from the drugs are worse than the disease. Well, I went home and I watched the Inspiration Network and the Trinity Broadcasting Network. They both got Dr. Nights and Dr. Day programs with doctors that believe in natural products. And I thought, well, I want to take natural products because he said the side effects are worse than the disease. So I've literally tried everything. We spent thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. So I was not looking for it. I'd given up. I said, no way. But I finally watched it and I heard this product is all natural. It's got 30 clinical trials on it. You go to PubMed.gov and you can research everything you know about it. And I said, I've got to have that. I just hope it don't cost $5,000. Because I know people with MS that are buying the drug of the day or from the synthetic drugs. It's $5,000 to $8,000 a month for the product, their product. And this one's all natural. And I said, I've got to have that. And I tried to find out what it was that night. They didn't say it on the air. I called William the next morning. And first question I asked him was, how much did it cost? He said $41. I thought, my gosh, they're just giving it to me. So I couldn't get it in my mouth fast enough. I thought if they could email me one, I'll just throw it in here. But that was the 20th of July, 2018. That was on a Friday. We ordered it. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, it came to my house. And I started taking it that day. And 4 days after that, I'm quadriplegic. I can't move hardly nothing. I can move one finger, one thumb, a little bit of my left arm, not much. And I was laying in bed. I could start moving my shoulders and my back, and I felt some muscles in my legs. I could feel it. I could feel the difference. And I said, Debbie, that's my wife, do you want to see something? She pulled the blankets back, and I started moving around a little bit. We were kind of both blown away. So we've just, and since that's been a year and a half, what's been 17 months now we've been taking this for him. I started to go blind about a year ago. Well, not blind, but I couldn't see. I couldn't watch TV because the bright lights on a TV would give me headaches. So I just sat here and stared out the window. And we went to the eye doctor and he dilated my eyes. And he said, there's nothing wrong with your eyeballs. The problem's farther back. I said, what's farther back? And he said, your brain. So I heard this company's got liquid brain food. I thought, boy, I need. I've been taking that now. I took that for about 4 or 5 months. And I could start watching TV again. So just this week I learned that there was a John Wayne movie on YouTube, so we watched it. Once it followed it, I watched that. And I thought, wow. I overdid it in a row. After not being able to feed for so long, you kind of tend to overdo it. I had spasms in my legs where they get the natural involuntary leg shakes, where your legs shake. They get shaking so much they jump right off the foot pedal and land on the ground, and I couldn't pick them up. So I drag over in my wheelchair. So we strapped them on the chair with a leather. We don't take the foot and leather. My blood pressure, my nurse come about a year and a half, about a month before we started this product. She came that morning because I got a suprapubic catheter. That part of me don't work no more. I got a urine bag. So she comes every 2 weeks to change that bag and takes my blood pressure every 2 weeks. That day she came and it was 240 over something. She wanted to call the ambulance and take me to the hospital. I said, no, I don't want to go. Just let me die. But she said, I can't leave. I got to wait till it goes down some. So she stood around about an hour. It went down some. A month later, she came back, and she checked it that day. It was 123 over 80. And she just about passed out and fell over. He said, can I buy a bottle of that stuff from you for me? So we sold her a bottle. Oh, my bowel. That's my wife talking to me. He said, tell me about your bowel problem. For 20 years, I've had to go to the bathroom. I needed an enema every night to go to the bathroom. And 4 days after I started taking this product, I could move my arms and my joints. And 8 days after I started taking this, I had a regular bowel movement. That was started in 2018. Since that date, I have never had a bowel movement with an enema ever since. That's about a year and a half later. That is just spectacular. Blow you away.
Unmuted.
It overwhelms me.
Oh.
You okay?
Oh.
I
This
tell-
is his wife Debbie. I just
I know he's getting a little emotional this evening, and I appreciated him sharing his heart with us.
God bless him. God bless him.
Frank, check your text, please.
Roger.
Just kind of tears me up.
It tears us up too.
Yeah. You know, don't ever worry about getting emotional, because that's an indication you're sharing your heart. So yeah, I get it, and I appreciate it. And I think we're just going to go ahead and end it here. I will tell you that he is doing much better. He's moving around. He's moving in such a ways that, I mean,
Claire, put
you
the
know,
name.
it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy for a quadriplegic to be moving in the way he's moving now. And also, you know, when you think about it, can you imagine getting an enema 3 times a day for 20 some years? And then all of a sudden, boom, you don't have to have them anymore? What a blessing is that? Wow. Just blows my mind. Blows my mind,
I'm
guys.
also, William, I had to lay down every afternoon because we're just totally wiped out. Every afternoon I had to take a nap, and that
Yeah.
drove me crazy. Everybody else is. And this summer now, I've never went to bed all summer. I stay up all day. I got bed sores on my bottom end from sitting on my wheelchair all the time. I
Yeah.
had to
Muted.
relieve the
Unmuted.
bottom side. And this year, I've never went to bed all day. The bed sores on my butt are gone,
Amen.
and yeah, it just gave me a second chance at life.
Amen, brother.
I'm so excited. I'll never stop taking these products.
Amen. You got that right. Me neither, brother. Hey, listen, I appreciate you coming over and sharing this evening with us. We've been at this for about, I don't know, 17, 18 minutes. I'm sure everybody's jumping at the bit to get back to Frank and what's popping over in Iraq, because that's an exciting thing going on over there. But I just want to thank you again, and you and your lovely bride, God bless you for coming over and sharing with us this evening.
Thank you for having us.
All right, folks, that'll be our call for the evening. I am going to give away some free product in just a moment, but if you want more information about this group of products, I'll be happy to send that over to you. There's 2 ways you can receive it. Okay, number 1, you can give me a ring and say, "Hey, send me the information." And if you call me tonight, you know it's probably going to be like trying to drive an elephant through the eye of a needle because of all the calls I'm going to be getting. So if I miss your call, you're in red all over to me. Let me give you the email address, okay? The email address is clquik12@gmail.com. That is clquik12@gmail.com. Just write me an email, say, "Hey, I'm with Frank, send me the info." Or if you'd like to call, that's fine. I can talk with you specifically, answer any questions you might have, all that, all good. All right, I hope you got that information. All right, Frankie.
Thank you, Will.
Do me a favor.
Yes, sir.
Tell me a word that people can type into the chat over here. Oh wow, thanks, T. I appreciate that. Tell me a word that the folks can type into the chat over here. The first one that puts the word in will win free product, okay? Now listen, we send out the product on the 20th of each month. We send out free product on the 20th of each month. So even though you win today, it won't go out for the 20th, okay? So don't get upset because it ain't got there yet after a few days. But yeah, you will get it, I promise. We always send it out. Frank, what's the word going to be, brother?
Strong, STRONG. First one to put up strong.
Yep. First one that puts up strong, you win free product.
Can you see it? You can see it, right, Will?
Boom!
Boom, boom, boom.
Judy. All right, Judy. Slyn. S-L-E-N. You are fast, fingers ready tonight, Judy. Okay, you just won free product. And here's what I want you to do. Give me a call or send me an email. I'm going to need your shipping address so we can get it out to you, and your email address. Okay? Wow, look at all those folks. Listen, even though you didn't win tonight, please come back next week and try again, because we will be doing it again next week. We give it out every week. Okay? Listen, give this thing a shot, guys, and I don't mean just for a month either. For every decade you've been alive, try it for a month. A month for each decade you've been alive. It'll change your life. It will absolutely change your life. It's changed, Frank.
Amen. Amen. I appreciate the product, Will, and I thank you. And when I hear a testimony like the ones that you brought in tonight, especially this man at the end, where he couldn't even finish what was in his heart. He couldn't even express to you the joy, the metamorphosis that he's gone through. Nobody knows what it's like to wear somebody else's shoes. They only know what it's like to wear their own shoes. And when their shoes get just as tight or just as worn out as their friends' shoes are, then they can kind of relate it. If we went through what he's going through, if we had to go through our health issues were like his, yeah, and then all of a sudden they were dramatically changed, we would be crying. We'd be crying right along with them. And if it was a loved one, your child, your father, your mother, someone you cared about, and you altered their life this manner, in a manner that maybe the physicians, the medical worlds, just simply maybe does not know right now, they're not to blame. We're to blame. We must educate the medical world of the things that we know. What we're doing right now. Thank you, Will.
Hey, one more thing. C, I know you're on the call. You can put my number up there if you want to. 910-690-6008 if you'd like.
Do it again, Will. Somebody back us up. Somebody please post that. Go ahead.
910-690-6008.
Thank you, Will.
Right.
God bless you, buddy.
That's it for me. God bless you, Frank, and have fun on the beach, baby.
If ever I can get to it. God bless. Take care. Idea that what do we do now? What does the United States do? What does our president do now? And I suggested that it more sanctions, because the pen is mightier than the sword. And on top of that, you know the so-called deals that you had with Obama, you know, for your nuclear proliferation, that's out the window. There's nothing that Obama did. Well, wait a minute. He did send you crates. I mean, I don't know. I think it was 4 crates, and they were stacked to the top. Obama sent you, Iran, billions. He didn't even elect. You know, it wasn't, you know, e-currency. You know what I mean? That we could trace it. He sent you billions of dollars so that you could buy those centrifuges for your nuclear proliferation, huh? So that you could blow yourself up like you're doing right now in those caves, huh? Yeah, well, guess what? We ain't sending you jack. In fact, we're just taking it all away. And you've been doing this like a little child for the longest time, and the media thinks that it's something super, something big, something hot. Stupid media. This is nothing more, you know what? This is nothing more but a spanking towards you. And you know what? The spanking was more sanctions. You're not going to get to play with that new Nintendo box that we bought for you this Christmas. Sorry, it's going back to the store. Amazon, call them back. You ain't getting none of that stuff. Everything is being taken away from you. How you like them apples? Now, Iranian citizens, you ain't got nothing to worry about. You're going to be taken care of. You're being taken care of, aren't you? The Christian church is the most powerful, growing church in Iran right now. God knows what he's doing with those evil people that say they represent Iran, but they don't. And Donald Trump also knows what he's doing with those people that say they represent Iran, but they don't. They're just proxies. They're just a bunch of children, a bunch of bullies that think that they can get away with things. No, I'm sorry. And then on top of it, hey, Democrats, you called President Trump a warmonger? Huh. And Donald Trump, you did the opposite of what Iran wanted you to do, the opposite of what the Democrats say they want you to do. Democrats 1 minute will talk from this side of their cheek and say, war, war, war. And then they'll talk out of this side of their cheek and they'll say, no, no war. You promised Trump. Oh God, he's taking us to war. How dare you, Trump? Oh, no, 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 no. Yeah, whatever. Nancy, I got to pee really bad. How you doing? You know what's really interesting is that you haven't even sent the impeachment articles to the floor, have you? Why? For the reason that I said yesterday. You see, I love to scuba dive. I got 32 logged dives around the world. I like to scuba dive. And the one thing is that the further you go, anything like past 100 feet, the pressure gets really strong, and you got to move a little slow. You got to be really careful. That pressure can actually crush your eardrums. It can crush bones in your cranium, in your sinus structure as well too. That you're going under deep sea pressure right now, Nancy. I gotta pee. Because you won't take the articles of impeachment to the Senate floor. And the reason why is because what I said yesterday. Iran bad guys, the badgies, the bad guys, they are the ones that want to squeal on you, Nancy P. Well, more so your son, and Biden's son, and Obama, and Hillary. Oh my goodness. Interesting, isn't it? Deep sea pressure. You guys, you Democrats are being crushed by your own nonsense. You should have left it alone. I told you. Family, so with Soleimani and Iran, Iran couldn't even take out its garbage. Iran couldn't even take out its garbage and throw it away, out in the dumpsters. So Donald Trump did. You're welcome. And Obama didn't do it. I wonder why. Clinton didn't do it. Bush didn't do it. I ain't got nothing against you, gentlemen, but Donald Trump did it. He did something instantly. He's doing so many things quickly that you guys refuse to do, because all the things that you refuse to do always used to hide the evil that you did. Yeah, loading your pockets. How is it that you can come in and be the president of the United States of America and get paid, what is it, like $600,000, $800,000 a year, and walk out with what, $20, $30 million? How'd you do that? And I'm supposed to be stupid about it, right? Yeah. This Air Force base that I was telling you about, by the way, it's called Al-Assad. Al-Assad. Al-Assad, it's in Anbar. Let me tell you something, family. The BS media, they're saying, oh, it was so nice, they were so accurate, and they didn't bomb us, and they only wanted to get our attention. They're really highly accurate missiles. They're full of crap. This Air Force base is at least 9 square miles. When you launch a rocket, what? How can you miss it? So you just launch it in that direction. And you know damn well you were trying to kill us. But you can't. And you know that. You don't want to mess with us, Iran. Let it go. You've been doing this all year and nobody seems to know about it. What'd you do this morning? Another 2. Where's the media? They fired 2 more. Wasn't it a disaster? You were saying that yesterday. Is it a disaster? Do we report a disaster? It's a disaster. Jeez. You couldn't help but to hit something 9 square miles. And it takes about 15 to 20 minutes for the rockets to come from your neighborhood all the way over to where you targeted them. That's a joke. They could have been shot down 1,000 times and still had room to shoot them down more by the time you hit your target. They had to hit something, family. They had to hit something on purpose. I mean, it was so bloody big. And the United States and the international world, and you watch it on television, and you didn't even realize what you were watching. Oh my God, look, rockets. Oh, where are they going? Oh, you want some tea? You need sugar with that tea. I can brew it. And then we can see it land if you want. Alrighty, so what's next? A covert war. Yeah, a covert war is next. We need to protect our American officials, our ambassadors, our politicians around the world, our buildings, our American citizens. We need to protect our American borders from these demons because they're still around. You see, Donald Trump is not going to target Iran. The collateral damage, you don't want any of that. So what does he do? Well, we do the best. We can hear you fart. Iranian militia, supreme bozos, we can hear you fart. We know what you ate last week. And You guys are the real cause. I said yesterday that the poor government of Iran said, "Who pushed the button? Did you push the button? I didn't push it. Who pushed? Hey, USA, we didn't have anything to do with it. We know that, and that's why Donald Trump is not attacking Iran. Stupid media. He doesn't want to hurt no one. Iran doesn't want to hurt anybody. Aren't they sweet? We don't want to hurt no one. We could wipe you out. Our bad breath alone could destroy you." But Donald Trump is trying his best not to hurt anyone. It's not how ironic. He could go in there and destroy it all, but we don't want to hurt no Iranians. We're helping them right now, in many ways. We don't want to hurt the Iranian government. They're actually good people. And we're helping them in many ways. This whole call, by the way, did I forget? I forgot, didn't I? I forgot. This whole call is in my opinion. I don't know what I'm talking about. I never do. Ask any other guru. That's a good one. It's a good one. Was that good? That's a good one. All right. Yeah, we're going to protect ourselves. And you know why we're going to protect ourselves? Because people forgot about the rockets that they've been sending in every month all of last year. You know why we're going to protect ourselves? Because you know what? How can people be so... really, Americans? It's not a New York minute. It's a nanosecond with us, isn't it? We get so impatient. All right, change the channel. How many channels we got? We used to have 3 channels when I was a kid. Actually, 4 with PBS. We got bazillion channels now. All for our entertainment. Unbelievable. You don't even remember, I bet you, family. Do you remember that it was the Iranian bozos, these supreme elites? They were the ones that killed. They killed that nuclear scientist from Israel. Remember? How come ain't nobody? Hypocrisy. That's all it is. Hypocrisy. And our media plays into it because our media is liberal, because our media hates the President of the United States of America. My God, can you imagine what our country would be like if we did not have that attitude from the Democrats and we just had the Democrats? I want to show you something. I want to show you the truth. I hope and I pray to God, please, Heavenly Father, please make this work. Please, God, let this work. I want to show you a friend you can be her friend. Get a hold of this woman. Listen to what she has to say. This is the truth from the heart of Iran. This is the truth. This is the real news coming from Iran. Listen to this Iranian woman. God bless you, ma'am. Jan, it's not working. Oh my God, Jan, what do I do?
Put your settings on this Wi-Fi.
Go to settings. I am not leaving until we play this. Go to what?
Settings.
Wi-Fi says not connected. Go to others. Right, baby? Go to that.
Yeah, click it.
Click it. Please, God, let this work. Please. There are many that need it. It worked. How'd you do that, God? You're cool. Okay. So now what do I do? It says
Go to your other thing you want to show.
cancel. But now it's telling me to log in to this. Maybe not. Let's see. Keep your fingers crossed. Please, God, let this work. Honey, I don't believe this. Oh, my heart is broken. What if I turn it off? Please bear with me. I'm going to turn off my phone and pray. Dear Heavenly Father, I'm asking you to please. The Wi-Fi went through and I appreciate that. Can you please let the sound of this lady's come through? The voice of this woman. She has a message to tell. I'm asking you to please let those that are with us tonight be able to hear this. In the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, I pray this. Amen. All right, family, we're going to turn the phone back on. And while we're waiting for that phone to come back on, may I bring you another quick subject. Look, I don't know if this is true. Everything is in my opinion. But you know that Ukrainian airplane that was shot down in Tehran in Iran yesterday, and they said, Iran quickly comes out and they say, well, it was technical difficulties. It was? Yeah, it was technical difficulties. The plane went down on its own. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if that's true or not, but there was a picture that I saw that caused me to be curious. And because I was curious about that picture, I asked for some help. Then they tell me this morning that, hey,
Hi, friends. So,
I'll tell you
a
later.
lot of you have been reaching out to me asking me my opinion about what's going on and, wanting to know my opinion. So, here's my 2 cents.
Can you hear it?
For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sagar, also known as Erica for my American friends who can't say Sagar. I am Iranian American. I have spent the last 12 years of my life as a human rights activist working on Iran policy, watching the Middle East. Yeah, it's a super complex issue, and many of you probably before today had never ever heard of the name Mohandes or Soleimani. I feel like we're living in the twilight zone, guys. I'm completely outraged at this notion that the machine that is media is glorifying Qasem Soleimani. Do you people know that this man has not only the blood of Americans on his hands, but the blood of Iranians, Iraqis, Yemenis, Afghanis? I mean, since when did we start mourning the death of a terrorist? I mean, seriously. I've had friends on the left, both Iranian and American, attack me for echoing the rhetoric of my people. The people in Iran are happy. The people in Iran are happy that this man who was responsible for the slaughter of so many people is gone. Where was your outrage last month when the regime slaughtered 1,600 kids for peaceful protests? Where's your outrage for the thousands of political prisoners that are in Iran right now? Where was your outrage when the Hashtashabi took over the American embassy and vandalized it and killed an American contractor? I don't understand. So I'm sorry if I'm ranting, but who cares? My opinion doesn't really matter. But for the, in the interest of those that have reached out, here's the deal. I'm an Iran watcher. I'm an Iraq watcher. I'm a Syria watcher. I'm an Afghanistan watcher. And for the people on the ground, they don't hate America. They don't hate Donald Trump. In fact, there's a lot of trending hashtags right now from Iran on Twitter. Thank you, Trump. We thank you. Thank you for, Soleimani. Thank you. Go look for yourselves. And, honestly, guys, if you don't know anything about the Middle East, please keep your opinions to yourself. I beg you. Because all you're doing is you're distorting the flow of information. You're drowning out the sound that's coming out from the ground. And people in Iran are happy. And they are giving out, in the Middle East, it's cultural practice to, when something wonderful happens, when there's a marriage or when there's a celebration, you give out cookies, you make cakes, and you should see the videos that are coming out. People are baking cakes. People are giving out cookies in public, in the streets, because they're happy. I don't know. Do we live in a closed society that we don't know that most people in the Middle East are not free? Specifically in Iran, it's an Islamic state. There's no freedom of religion. There's no freedom of speech. There's no freedom of peaceful, protest. And for anyone who disagrees with the regime, they're arrested, they're jailed, they're tortured. And yeah, there's a lot of video coming out right now about the funeral of Qasem Soleimani. It's so much propaganda, you guys. The regime has been saying death to America for 40 years. They forced us in school to say death to America. I was 7 years old. I didn't know what I was saying. And the people that are like saying that right now, they're called the Basiji. They're like, they're getting paid. They're the ones that get paid to kill people on the street. So yeah, they're going to say death to America, but that's not the people. The majority of the people in the Middle East don't hate America. They don't hate Donald Trump. And I'm probably going to lose a lot of friends for saying this, but thank you, Mr. Trump, for making a very hard decision and for having the moral courage to do something that probably a lot of world leaders wouldn't have had. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. I love you guys. If you want to have a conversation, let's engage. Let's not attack. It's not healthy. And hashtag everybody calm down. There's no World War III coming, okay? God is in control, not man.
Good for you, sister. Yeah, lady is pretty much telling you what I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen. It's not what they tell you it is in Iran. It's not. And what it boils down to is these few that President Trump is isolating. And he gave the best example. The first one, 5. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Oh my goodness, those are some amazing earthquakes. Well done, HARP. Then, the next thing you know, sanctions are being put on even more. Yeah, these few are so mad that they're lying, and they turn off the internet and they tell the citizens of Iran, we just killed a bunch of Americans, and they retreated, and it lies. And sure enough, the rest of the media takes it and runs with it and pretends that it's the truth. Speaking of lies, before we started to show you this video, I want to tell you something. Everything that I say is in my opinion, okay? Okay. I was watching the video of the plane that was shot down, the Ukrainian airplane. It was shot down in Tehran in Iraq, and I noticed that there was a lot of white papers like these. Like these. I mean, we're talking thousands littered all around everywhere in that shot where the airplane was at, burning and whatnot. And as I kept staring at it, I thought, it hit me. In my opinion, I thought, oh no. They just put those papers there. They turned the cameras on. If that, if all that litter was, in that crash, it would have been vaporized. It would have been burned up. It doesn't even have to touch the flame. It can be about 100 feet, 200 feet away, and the heat alone will ignite that piece of paper, and covered with diesel, the fumes and everything. And I got to thinking, something ain't right. So I pick up the phone and I said, do me a favor. I called Angel One. I said, do me a favor, check this out. And he gets back with me and he says, well, there is a report that the airplane, there is evidence that plane was shot down maybe by someone else. Iran? Don't know yet. All right. Keep an eye on it. Let me know what more you can get out of it. So about 2 hours later, my team calls me and they said, look, again, we can't verify it, but there is now report. There's a report now of what I just asked you. He said, yeah, they're saying that there's a woman that was on the airplane. She was calling her husband from the airplane, and she was saying, we just got hit and we are going down. There were 80 Canadians on board, and the Canadian Prime Minister is very angry, and he wants a full report right now about what happened, to his people. It was an international flight, which is going to invite international attention, Iran, if you did it. If you didn't, okay, I'm sorry. I mean, I can't help but to look at you. You're the first ones to do stupid things. Live by your reputation. It was an international flight. It was filled with international students, many of them from many countries, besides Ukrainian citizens. So what I was seeing just did not match. It doesn't seem to even match Iran's agenda, these bad guys, but I don't know, I'm just wondering. But the thing that really got to me, family, is that later I get another phone call, the third call, and they're telling me, Frank, Iran does not want to give up the black box. So, Mr. President, if that box shows the evidence that Iran had something to do with it because of all the other stupid things that they've been doing, I'm just wondering, Mr. President, you're not going to war with Iran because you don't want collateral damage. You don't want anyone to get hurt. You have the ability to target like Soleimani. Boom, you're gone. So let's target these individuals that are left, right? Is that what you're doing? Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Well, that's good. That's good. Mr. President, can I ask you a question? I'm uncomfortable asking you this question because what I just said, that's what you're really doing, right? Right? You don't want anyone to get hurt. You'll wipe out these guys, a la carte, one at a time. Look up, boom, gone. Okay. But by any chance, are you not going to war with Iran because you know how we can select who we want to blow up? We can also select who we want to protect. Are there any Iranian bad guys that you want Mr. Trump alive so that they can tell us everything about Biden and Hillary and Clinton and Obama? My gosh, you're pretty smart. Anyways, what time is it? Let's see.
4:18.
What do I do? That's what I wanted to deliver. Let me see if that's got this war. Got that. Got the video. Gave my opinion on what I think is going on. They should be okay with that. The only thing I'm not giving them is Firefly's Eddie's report, which is good. Which is good, but it's super long.
Walking stick.
All right, I tell you what, I'm not going to give you Firefly's report tonight. I don't know when I'm going to give it to you. It's in depth, and it has a lot of good information in it. Like, for example, look what these idiots are doing. Here, let me get this picture. They are still putting in the electronic billboards, death to America. Death to America. You think that Iraq is saying that? No. And Eddie, our Firefly, tells me, here, let me read it. Mr. Frank, our digital billboards today all over Baghdad have death to America from the Iranian supreme leader. It's on every board in Baghdad. This is very ridiculous, Mr. Frank. Yeah. You got an Iranian telling you, nope. You got an Iraqi telling you, nope. And you got me telling you, up yours. It's so stupid what you guys are doing and trying to convince us of it. Not just the media, but the Iranian bozos. Mr. President, I'll tell you, you're playing your cards very, very good. Now, what this report does, family, it talks to me and it tells me about the things that are going on. This is late at night, 3 o'clock in the morning. Frankie's still up with his family. It's almost 5 a.m. in the morning, and we hear the Apache helicopters over our heads, all over the green zones. America, they're everywhere, but nothing. We can't see what they're doing. They're here north, just the base north of Baghdad. Missiles in Iran, not the proxy army in Iraq. Reports of Iraq casualties, none of them. Nobody was hurt, none of us, no U.S. soldiers. There is a second wave of missiles coming in and being launched right now in the morning, Mr. Frank. Hey, media, you're not interested, huh? Missiles have stopped now. This is at 4:55 in the morning. Missiles have stopped now. The base, more than a dozen cruise missiles, 3 base attached. No American deaths reported. Unbelievable. This is later for some. Mr. Frank, Iranian television is saying that they raided and they killed at least 80 Americans and destroyed heavy equipment, and the USA took heavy losses. And we see on our news and that the bombs where they hit are way off the base. It's not anything of what they're telling you. Nobody got hurt here, and it's all a bunch of massive, I like that, massive lies on on their television. And the report then goes on even more, and it starts to tell about some airplanes that were shot down, and some more stuff. The 1988 violation of the agreement shot that's in there too. Then he gives me a report about Sadr and the Iranian puppet that's on television. And he's calling for the end of American presence and citizens and all that. La 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 la. And then the next thing you know, we have both Sadr and Maliki coming out and talking. Mr. Frank, we still are seeing Iraqi citizens leaving, and he explains why. Because in 4 days, they're going to tear the place apart. Actually, this coming Friday is what he meant. He talks again about his bank friend and the take a caretaker government. It's constitutional rights and where they are at right now. And then I talked to him, and he goes on. This Sadr is back on TV saying the crisis is over. The crisis is over. Oh, thank you, Sadr. And President Trump's speech orders militants to stand down. It's all over our stations here. But we don't pay attention to Sadr because he's an Iranian puppet. He's just a jerk like Mahdi. I told him, I said, hey, Eddie, how much you want to bet? How much you want to bet that these two will be gone in a certain, whenever they'll be gone? And he says, I don't want to take your money, Mr. Frank. Trust me, Eddie, based on the next thing that I told him, which I'm not going to tell you. And then he responded and he said, oh, okay. Look, more bombs hitting the green zone. What's going on, Mr. Frank? We hear noise, but not on TV yet. I'll be done. I didn't even read this. We're going to buy the store, Neil's store, and turn it into a fish market. My wife and I, we love fish. More bombs hitting the green zone. What's going on? We hear noises, but not on TV yet. And you won't. The media doesn't care, Eddie. Still not knowing what happened, but it's quiet now. We don't think it was a rocket attack. Maybe it was. No, it was, Eddie, but I'll tell you later. Putting on the pressure of 2000 budgets. CNN now saying it's rockets. We heard one loud noise outside. We're hearing more. Eddie, this is what it is, and I tell him what it is so that he can be okay. Okay, we heard the explosions in the central Baghdad area. No one was killed. It goes on. Look, we'll talk about Eddie later. Instead, let me say goodbye to you with this. Walking Stick and I talked. And this is what I'm going to tell you, but I'm going to tell it to you very quickly because my wife and I are hungry. It's going on 5. Ain't that something, Jen?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't we say we were going to try to eat early today?
Yep.
Just to eat. No, and I'm not doing it for you folks. I'm talking to my wife. Here you go. This is for you. And I'll explain it deeper. Frank, we received this 5 days ago. I also have another report to give you, and it's 3 days old. That would be more current. He gave me that report, but I don't want to give it to you. Instead, I'm going to give you the one from 5 days ago. Frank, the CBI has told us that all banks in Iraq are going to receive the 50,000 and the 100,000 freshly printed bills sent to all banks in Iraq. The reason for it is because the CBI is now lessening the amount of of 10 and 25,000 notes in the market, in the inventory of Iraqi banks. They want to get more of the 3 zeros, not off the streets. That project is, it looks like it's done. I don't have that as in my notes. I'm saying it. They don't want to get these notes, these 3-0 notes off the streets. It's not that. What they're now doing, like I told you before, is the specific note count for their M figures. Now the CBI is sending 50 and 100,000 dinar notes only to be used from the bank to a bank only. And each bank is getting a specific amount. Each bank is getting a different specific amount. Ah, that matches like when the new small categories were also specific. Each one of them had their own amounts that were delivered. And in replace, must send to the CBI in return either 4 25K notes or 10,000 notes. Both of those adding up to either to 100,000 dinars. The CBI is telling us to look for these notes. We have not received them yet. Some banks have. We believe we will be next. They are to only be used from bank usage, from bank to bank, not for circulation. The 50K and 100K is not to be introduced to the citizens. They are to introduce the new small category notes when told on their schedule. Oh, dang. That's interesting. Think about this, family. The 250, the 500, and 1,000. They told you. Got them printed. Come on in. Oh, we're out. Sorry. Just like freshly baked Dunkin' Donuts. All gone. But we'll get you more later when we bring out the new small category notes. So, alrighty. And now they're telling us about the 50 and the 100. No can use in the streets. No. Okay. Why? Because they got 3 zeros. And the other ones only have 1 0, 2. Oh, this is brilliant. What about the 5,000 note? This is being used to remove the 3 zeros, not to draw them in. You understand that, Frank? By George, I do understand that. Let me repeat that. This is being used to remove the 3-0 notes from the banks. It's not to draw in the 3-0 notes. That was already done. And now they are collecting them from the banks that drew them in. You know, with every incentive you could think of. You want a George Foreman grill set? No. You want higher interest rate? No. You want a free checking account? No. We got as many 3-0 notes as we could. We know that. Why do you think we gave you the new small category notes and a schedule with a date to deliver them? Now, before you do that, we need to deliver to you the 3-0 notes that you're going to use with us at CBI in large volumes. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the CBI right now, whether there's, Iran stupidity that's always going on, or a little protesting of a million-man march, the lava flow still continues. Business as usual. So CBI tells the banks that in Iraq, the 250, 500, and the 1,000. What about it? They're all going to coexist. It's the ones above, the ones that we told you about. That we want all of our banks now to turn them in right now. Move them all in. Give us all the 3-0 notes that you've already got. You know why? Why? Because we're adjusting our note count. Oh, that's good for a monetary reform, isn't it? Yeah, genius. Oh, Frank, well, wait a minute. Don't do that to me. The 5,000 note. What about it? They've given us information about every note, even the coins. We don't have any information about the 5,000 note. I believe it's too early for us to receive that type of information, in my opinion. All of this, though, make note, it is from the CBI to the CBI banks, not to the citizens. That campaign was launched and completed, in my opinion, a long time ago, even though it will be an ongoing event because they will coexist. Does all of this make sense? Good. So realize that Iraq, realize that Iraq, in my opinion, will do exactly what Donald Trump says. Why? Because business is going on as usual. President Donald Trump can stop Iraq's auctions because, are you listening? You saw me yesterday. I was reading and all of a sudden, wait a minute, auctions? Sanctions? One of the sanctions could be the auction. I didn't know. Really? Mark, and when we did, we checked it out. I'd like to tell you something in my opinion, can I? And then I'll say goodbye. Family, in my opinion, Iraq will do exactly what Donald Trump says, and business is as usual in the CBI. And that's because Donald Trump can stop Iraq's auctions at any time. You don't want that, Iraq. He'll stop you using the American dollar at any time. Because, you see, your auctions, they support Iran. And we're technically at war with Iran. So the President of the United States can stop your auctions as a military action of defense. And by the way, Iraq, you do know that 90% of the gold that you brag about is all in the United States of America, right? I love you too. Family, I could talk forever, but I've got to go feed my wife. I'm done feeding you. Do you understand what's going on now? Good. Go to God in prayer and stay in constant prayer and let no man let no man make a fool out of you. No man. No man. And nor I. So you take what we give you, my opinion. You take it to God in prayer. Think about it. If you like it, use it. If you don't, flush it and move on. And go listen to someone else. I love you. Y'all take care of each other. God bless you. Allah nake oy until we meet again. Ahuiho until we meet again. Bye bye.